Alright, we're ready.
1, 2, 3, clap.
Clap.
Go off that second one when you're hearing this in the future. Clap. Clap, clap, clap. Oh, we clap for real. Let's blow chrome. We're to get all the dirt out of the way so we can cut it out easier. Fuck no.
Alright, Felix, you can do the intro this time. You can introduce.
For episode 3 on. No more cutting episodes. Just gonna do it on episode.
No, from episode 2 on.
I don't want all this out there.
Oh, well, I figured we'd always do this. I mean, just say the intro.
Sure, go ahead. Hey. If you're listening right now, I want you to know. Today's gonna be a good day. Because you're listening to the Gopher Broke podcast.
Hey, good morning, everyone. It's the Gopher Broke
How you doing,
podcast.
everybody? How you doing, Mikey? How you doing, Lance?
I'm doing good. It's the morning, so I'm tired.
Yeah, no, I feel that.
But overall, we're doing good.
But we're excited to do the show.
We are excited to do the show.
Yeah, 11 a.m.'s a little early, you know?
Yeah, it's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Nice.
But you know what, guys? Let's get something to get your ears perked up. Lance, you got any information for us? Anything we can really sink our teeth into to start the day?
No.
Great. I guess we'll call it.
Let's start off with how about a quote of the day? You guys want a quote today? You guys want to hear a nice quote?
Sure.
Let's do a quote. Today's quote is from my good old friend Frank Costello.
Oh?
Okay.
From our favorite movie, The Departed.
Interesting.
Nice.
What does Frank have to say?
Frankie boy says, I don't want to be a product of my environment. I want my environment to be a product of me.
Be the change you want to see in this world, people.
That's right. You gotta be strong-willed through all of the obstacles in life.
Absolutely.
I agree.
Keep your focus forward, 2 feet on the ground.
Uh-huh.
What if you're a pilot? Got you there, didn't I?
Keep both wings spread. Otherwise, you got a bad PR situation.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. So
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
So none of someone doing something good is actually for the benefit of the world. It's just to look good to others.
Yeah.
Great.
That's what life's all about. It's just
It's all about appearances.
appearances. I've got some good news and some bad news for you guys.
What's that?
Which one do you want first?
Bad news.
Yeah, I like bad news first as well.
You like bad news?
Yeah.
Bad news is that our podcast still sucks. Good news, I didn't have any bad news, I just made that up. Good news is, I forgot my good news actually now.
Oh my god, Lance.
Doctor, please tell us what's the condition. No, the bad news or good news first? Bad news, let's face it. He's still in the coma. Good news? Sorry, wrong patient. Sorry. Just that.
Oh, I don't have any good news, actually.
Thanks. Anyway, you guys
Still
got
in
a
a
dollar.
coma.
Oh, I remember what I was gonna say,
What's that?
which, I don't know if this is good news or bad news.
Mm-hmm.
Justin Trudeau.
Mm-hmm.
I just had to bring this up. Recently, Mike, you know what we're talking about? Brown face scandal.
Uh-oh.
Shame on him.
Why did he do brown face?
The context is that he did it at a party 18 years ago when he was just a dumb kid. I'm not going to hold it against the dude because people grow and change, and it's stupid to demonize him for a stupid decision he made 2 decades ago.
Well, I'll tell you, there's definitely been worse things to be said about people.
Absolutely.
That happened 2 decades or plus ago.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, overall, how do I feel about this? Don't do blackface. That's fucking...
No.
That's awful.
I mean, I'm sure he knows that now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, but I think 18 years ago, like in the early 2000s, it was still frowned upon.
I would say
But
not to
times are different. Not to this degree.
not to make an excuse for him, but you know, everyone was like racist back then, right?
Yeah.
In 2001?
Yeah.
Still all racist?
Obviously, everyone's still racist, but I think everybody knows now not to do blackface or brownface.
Now people are more
And-
quiet about the racism.
Yeah,
Fuck,
and
fuck,
the
fuck.
fact that a lot of people didn't see this coming probably means that he knows better now because he's not obviously racist.
Right. Right. I mean, the dude has bigger scandals on his plate right now.
Yeah.
I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Still
So
not
this is
excusing him,
really.
though.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
It's crazy to think about that. Just things were in past. Like, you know how old movies have, let's say Breakfast at Tiffany's, they have Mickey Rooney in yellow face, just doing the most offensive ass Asian impersonation you could see. But the movie's a classic, so people give it a pass.
It's
Yeah.
It's crazy how entertainment does that.
It's weird. It's like, in music, in rap, obviously most African American rappers have a pass say certain language, but then other rappers don't, which I understand. It's
What's
just
the
interesting.
language?
Huh?
So what's the language?
Oh, English. Just
English? Okay.
yeah, different parts of it.
Interesting.
It's like, you know, people look at that and say, "Hey, isn't that kind of racist too?" Which I would say, yeah, but in a much different way. In that there's a bigger conversation to be had. You can't just say, "No, if they can do it, I can do it."
Yeah, and it's like the whole like people kind of excuse stuff like abuse and like murder and stuff just because somebody makes good music.
Right.
you
Right.
know?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Because they have that extra, like,
Mm-hmm.
shield protection. I mean, it's like one of those things, like, if they make a lot of money, like,
Right.
you kind of want to excuse some of the things they do. It's because, like, they're not just the ones making money, like, obviously, like, they're producers and
Right. Yeah.
other people that have probably more incentive for these people not
Mhm.
to be in jail.
For sure. For sure. Like a good example is Chris Brown. I mean,
Yeah.
in 09, he almost beat a woman to an unrecognizable bloody pulp. Well, he did. And she could have been seriously injured to a further degree if, you know, he hadn't stopped earlier. But he goes to prison for a year, washes his hands, stays out of the spotlight for a little bit, comes back, doesn't show any remorse, just says, "Sorry I got caught," or, you know, "My bad." Not really showing any sort of apology or
And then he has, like,
remorse.
a hit.
Yeah, and now he has just a culture of fans just surrounding him saying, "Oh, that was the old Chris Brown," and, you know, Rihanna forgave him for it. But just because one person, even if it's a person that was abused, forgives their abuser, doesn't mean everyone else has to.
Well, hold on. I actually have a question now. It's because you said, like, people change and people, like... Are you just saying that you don't believe Chris Brown has changed? Or...
It's not, I know people can change, it's just, I don't think he has changed, and I don't, because he's still getting into legal trouble, and he still does terrible things.
Yeah.
And I don't think his art just not that I think art justifies the actions of an individual, even though I give a lot of people a pass depending on how much I like what they do, which is definitely a fallacious reason and reasoning and thinking to go about things. It's just with him specifically and people like him, I think sure they may be talented, but what they do is pretty heinous, and I can just find that sort of entertainment elsewhere.
Gotcha. I understand.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you don't agree with the person that you may be, like, receiving entertainment from, there's no reason for you to receive that entertainment from them. You can go elsewhere. There are other options.
I agree.
Alright, so you guys want to move on to the next business of agenda?
Yeah, what are we doing?
Well,
And why?
we are Gopher Broke Podcast, and in case we didn't make this super clear, in our previous episode, well, we want to be our content creators and make our mark in this giant multimedia business in America, and to spread our art, because we have what we think are some pretty good ideas. Felix, what do you think?
Yeah, I think you touched on it pretty well. I think the podcast is just a stepping stone. It's not that we see it as expendable. It's a step in the right direction for us. And you know, all things considered, we hope it goes well, so we can branch out into other things and create more content in various methods.
Which you guys will be able to see on our channel.
Yeah.
We'll be posting, so hopefully, some sketches at least once every 2 weeks.
Lance, what are your thoughts?
I kind of see this podcast, like you said, as a stepping stone. Especially if we want to get into other production ideas. Because this podcast, I feel like, helps us get through the nerves of just being vocal and open and creative.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely agree.
Mm-hmm.
I know we tried to do video on the first episode. We're taking a step back from that this episode to focus on just audio and work on our ideas.
Right.
But I think we're heading a good direction now.
Yeah.
A lot better than what we were doing last year.
Yeah.
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 Honestly, no, this is a huge step.
A little behind the scenes for you guys. This isn't the first one we had at this idea. It's definitely the first actual effort we given to it. So
we've had a lot of talk about it.
We have,
Yeah.
But no action.
So this dip is more of a dive and is somewhat daunting, but we're excited to do it now that we have more mental faculty to be able to approach this issue.
Yeah, completely agree. Kind of forget that we've had this idea for such a long time,
Mm-hmm.
and it really only feels like it's starting up now.
Yeah.
Yeah, remember when we had a meeting with your uncle?
Yeah, sure. Well, that was when we wanted to go all LLC with it. We were trying to go 30 steps ahead,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
and we weren't even starting anything yet.
We don't even have a lavaliers yet, right?
We don't even have lavaliers.
No
We
lav mics.
are recording off of a phone and a single mic.
Can't have an LLC without lavaliers.
That is true.
The Cleveland Lavaliers. Can you get LeBron James on the show?
Yeah, sure.
That'd be neat.
So what's I guess what's our motive for doing this?
Well, short answer, make it big. I guess long form answer for me is just show people I can create content that they can enjoy. That a creative enough individual to justify a spot at the table in terms of entertainment creation.
I would say definitely to practice consistency and to show people that I can consistently put something out there over a very long period of time.
I wanna dig deeper here.
Okay.
Both of you mentioned showing people that we could do this. I would ask, is it about showing people, or would you say it's more about showing yourself?
I'd say column A, column B. Really a mix of both. Because I want to show to people, but I first have to prove to myself that I can stick with it and actually do this all the way through.
I'm definitely trying to show other people that this is what can happen. I feel pretty confident in myself, which is either a good or bad thing. I don't know.
That's fair.
But I definitely want to do this for other people. I feel good about where I am with myself in doing this. I'm pretty confident that I can do this. It's just I want people to know that I can do this.
Would you say proving to yourself, even though you're confident that you can do it, would you say proving to yourself that you can do it is more important than proving to other people?
I definitely feel like you have to conquer the first one to conquer the second one.
I agree.
Proving to yourself is very important in the beginning steps in building that confidence. And then once you've built that confidence, you should be able to go out there and prove to other people how you feel. But if you're not confident in yourself and putting out your own opinions and whatnot and really putting yourself out there, then it's just not going to happen. I mean, and it's weird because we were literally just starting out. But if I have any advice to anyone out there, just start. The sooner you do it, the better.
Yeah, because I definitely do believe in myself. I don't know if I put that there. Just as we reach larger stages of success, if and when, I definitely want to see the scale of belief and confidence rise with that as well.
Yeah.
And the amount of people that believe in us increase with the amount of people we're reaching. And it'd be nice to see that radius just spread out.
Yeah.
If anybody's interested in similar things that we're doing, like you guys mentioned, just do it. I think we all agree. Just start, no matter what you have. If you have a microphone or a camera, or if you don't, use your iPhone. That's kind of what we're doing right now.
Mhm.
Yeah.
We don't have equipment. We can't afford equipment. We don't have, like, it doesn't matter. Just start making stuff.
Yeah, the first sketch that's going to be put out there on our channel was shot entirely through an iPhone.
Yeah.
And there's literally no mics. It's literally just the mic it's just the sound being picked up from the iPhone as well. So, like, it's literally just, like, the bare minimum.
People make movies off iPhones, don't they?
They
Yeah.
do. Yeah, they do.
If you, I mean, obviously, if you know how to do that correctly, you can come up with a good-looking movie.
Right, go for it.
Even if you don't, you could still come up with something.
Yeah. Good question.
So, do you guys have like inspiration? Like, what are your favorite pieces of entertainment or stuff that you are constantly thinking about, or gathering inspiration from?
Yeah, you want to tackle this one first?
No, actually, I want you to tackle this one first.
No, you insist.
Alright, of, like, things I'd be thinking about?
Yeah, I mean,
Like, what inspires me to do this, is what you're trying to say?
yeah, just like, what are your favorite pieces of entertainment, and how does it help you? I guess, because you guys write scripts and stuff too.
Yeah, I do. And so does Felix.
So yeah, what inspires you to do that? What's your process?
It's definitely, like, a lot of trial and error. It's usually thinking of a movie that I like. So for my script I have been working on, a lot of inspiration would be drawn from, like, Seven and Silence of the Lambs.
Mhm.
And so it's kind of like building characters off of those movies. But actually, it's the opposite. Building my own characters and then placing them in similar situations. And then seeing how my characters react. It's a very long process. I've been working on my script for, like, over a year and a half now.
What do you mean by seeing how your characters react?
I like to see myself as a writer as, like, observing my characters. I'm not necessarily writing what's happening. Oh, I'm writing what's happening, but I'm not the all-seeing person that's, like, predicting what's going to happen and, like, making my characters forcefully do something. I like to see it as, what would my character do in this situation? How would they react? And then, however that is, I write that down. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
And it's more like I'm a third eye to their whole situation.
you're like isn't there like a saying, like a vehicle to the muses or something like that?
Yeah.
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 Something weird.
Yeah.
What about you, Felix?
Well, it's a lot of what Mike said, as well as being inspired from just movies I saw as a kid. Any really Spielberg movie just inspired me. The early ones, I'm like, wow, this is incredible. This is storytelling to its apex. This is what human storytelling has evolved into, and it's incredible. As well as there's another film I was thinking about. It escapes me, maybe I'll remember it later. But for sure, when I saw Pulp Fiction for the first time, that really blew me away. And there's just one line that sticks with me that I'm like, wow, this is ingenious. It's such a small line too. It's when Bruce Willis picks up his girlfriend, and she asks him, whose motorcycle is this? He says, Zed's. And she says, who's Zed? He says, Zed's dead, baby. And I'm like, wow, that is incredible. He turned what she said around on his head, and he tells the audience exactly what they need to know in the coolest way possible. I'm like, wow, I really want to try my hand at this, because I want to contribute to the great pantheon of storytelling that is these movies.
I actually also heard, and this is, like, another good thing for inspiration, like, Quentin Tarantino, like, his first, like, film, if you go on IMDb, you can find out, I don't know what it's called, but it's, like, 30 minutes long, and if you watch it, it's, like, it's not great. Like, you saw the dialogue's the dialogue's there, but it's just, like, not good.
Yeah.
So, like,
I forget what it's called, Lance. You mind pulling that up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
IMDb.
Yeah, so, like, it's interesting to see, like, even one of the best filmmakers ever even started off with maybe even, like, a little bit bump in the road. Like, I heard it's definitely worth the watch. I don't remember what it's called. But it's just nice to see, like you don't just start off great. You have to practice at this craft. It takes a lot of work. to just be one of the greats. And we're not even, like, it'd be cool to be one of the greats, but I mean, at the end of the day, we just want to put our work out.
Yeah, yeah. I just want to be able to enjoy my art and share it with other people.
Yeah.
Oh, Godfather. That was the other movie. I remember that being excellent storytelling as well, just blowing me away.
Small little indie film.
Yeah, small little indie film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most people haven't heard of that one, actually.
Guy who made Earth Ending, currently.
Yeah.
Wait, what do you want me to look up?
Oh, okay.
IMDb, Quentin Tarantino. Just look at the first film in his filmography.
Yeah. It should be about 30 minutes long. Anyways.
Also, Reservoir Dogs. How great a film. This isn't a Tarantino podcast. We just love Tarantino here.
Most people love Tarantino, so I don't feel like we're on the outside.
Yeah.
But yeah, Reservoir Dogs is phenomenal.
Oh my god, such a movie.
Do you want to rank the Tarantino movies?
Not at the moment. I gotta think about that.
Okay. My favorite's Inglourious Bastards by like a mile.
Yeah, mine too.
I think all of them are. I think most of them are great, but like Inglourious Bastards, there are two scenes in that movie that just steal it for me.
Yep.
The opening scene with Christopher Waltz.
Christoph Waltz.
Oh, Christoph Waltz.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Yeah, Christoph Waltz is like, he just commands that scene, and the dialogue's perfect.
He's one of the greatest movie villains I've ever seen.
Yeah, and then the scene with Michael Fassbender in the basement bar.
Yeah.
That one's also just it heats up.
Yeah. Yeah, when I first saw the movie, I'm like, oh, this is pretty good. And I saw it again, like a week after I saw it the first time. I'm like, you know what, let me give it another shot. I was blown away. It's one of my favorite films.
Yeah, I actually saw a script breakdown of the opening scene first before I even saw the movie. And after I watched that, like, I was able to grow appreciation for what's done in that scene.
Yeah.
So being able then to sit down and just watch the first 17 minutes of that movie.
Yeah.
Really, like, it hit me harder.
Yeah, for sure. Every time I saw, even the first time when I saw that farm and the bar scene, I'm like, this is super tense. I don't know how this is gonna end. And of course, Tarantino is the worst way possible. I'm like, but I can't help but watch this unfold.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to our dreams rather than someone else's. Do you find his
Is it Lovebirds in Bondage
I think so.
or My Best Friend's Birthday?
I think,
probably Lovebirds and Bondage because it says it's a short.
yeah, it's a short.
Okay.
Lovebirds in Bondage.
1983.
1983.
Wow. Dude's been doing this for almost 4 decades.
It's a good year.
Good year.
What happened that year that really changed your life?
Previous year, The Thing came out.
It did?
That's a good year for me.
You know, probably a lot of blackface happened.
Wow.
You know what? You're probably not wrong.
I wasn't around in 1983. I can neither confirm or deny.
I'm more an 84 guy.
You're more of an 84 guy?
Why so?
Reagan Bush, baby. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know we had a huge Reagan Bush fan on set.
It's weird because I see those, like, sure, express yourself, you know, art is art, whatever, but to wear a campaign poster as a t-shirt now, 30 years later, like, it's not even an ironic hipster thing to wear those. It's like you see frat bros wearing them. I'm like, what message are you trying to... Back to the good old... I don't...
Hey,
Look,
make
man.
America great again. Am I right?
By keeping Hollywood great and by innovating.
You will be the change that you want in the world.
Absolutely.
Remember, don't be a product of your environment.
Yes. Be
Make
the
your environment
of
product
your
of you. We both said the same thing.
Yeah. You guys know Steven Spielberg doesn't see Netflix as a legitimate, or just streaming services as legitimate content creators.
Who said that?
Steven Spielberg.
I disagree.
Yeah, he doesn't think they have a place at film festivals and stuff like that, or awards
Wow.
ceremonies. Yeah.
Literally,
Talking about-
Roma, like last
Yeah.
year,
Yeah.
was a Netflix
Yeah.
original.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't know about that. Roma's really good, and it didn't win Best Picture, but
I think that's
it
just
should have.
old Hollywood. Like, obviously, he was new Hollywood when he was younger, but every new generation, obviously, the new will become old. And I think that's old Hollywood fearing it's losing its foothold at the top, whereas people don't like spending $50 to go to the theaters and get snacks and whatever. They don't want to do the hassle of getting terrible seats, and they don't want something wrong with the equipment or whatever.
Yeah.
Whereas if you're at home, you pull up your movie, you sit down on the couch with your girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever, and you guys just enjoy content. And I think any way that can bring people content the quickest, most effectively, and the most appreciable is definitely a good thing. And I don't think you need to stay true to an archaic method of delivery.
I mean, I will admit there's a certain aesthetic that comes with going out to the movies.
No, for sure.
That definitely makes it more enjoyable to watch a film.
Mm-hmm.
Like, even, I know you feel this way.
Yeah.
About, like, Avengers Endgame when we saw that.
Yeah.
IMAX and in theaters, like the opening day. Like, that was an event. Like, that was more than just watching a movie. And there's sometimes, like, a movie will come across that way. But I will admit, more and more now, I choose not to see a movie in theaters just because I'm like, well, when it comes out on Netflix or Hulu,
right,
or whatever, like Amazon Prime, I'll just watch it then.
Because I'm okay paying a smaller constant cost than paying a higher interval cost.
Times are definitely changing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Time we changed too.
But yeah. I mean, in any industry, you gotta change with the times.
Absolutely.
And if Netflix is successful at what they do and being able to stream this content directly to their viewers, and they're making money, then I mean it works. They're gonna stick with it. You just gotta roll with it.
Right. Right.
I do agree. We talked about this in one of my classes. I think theaters. We discussed whether they'd go out of business eventually. I was more on the side of, I don't think they will. I think they will downsize, probably. But I think not everybody, but a lot of people still like the whole feel of like premieres.
Right.
And it is like you said, like an event. There's a lot of people. I mean, it's fun. It's exciting.
Right.
I mean, movies still make like $60 million in opening weekends.
Yeah, I don't think the film industry's
So
hurting conventionally. I just think that,
I think it's a more individual basis where maybe some theaters won't be nearly as active, whereas a majority of them still usually sell out on some nights, depending on the movie being played.
Because for me, there's not much else like walking into a theater, sitting down, and seeing it packed full for a movie that deserves it. But I do think overall theaters need to adjust and change and offer customers a legitimate incentive to come and view at their theaters, at their movie houses, so they can stay alive and also please customers and have a generous return on investment.
Yeah, and I think there are studios that will probably refuse to turn to streaming.
Right.
I think a lot of them still want the whole box office thing going on.
Whereas I think
it's usually cash grab.
Yeah, I think they're just scared because there's still definitely money to be made with Netflix, and no, not just Netflix. I know they're the biggest. I'm just going to them by default, but streaming services, and I think studios who are privy to that and are ahead of the curve will end up on top in the new age, whereas old-fashioned, archaic movie style distribution is going to take a hit. I don't know if it'll ever go away, but I think it will take a hit because they won't know how to adjust. Because they see a static box office number, they're like, wow, okay, this is a solid, I can see this return. Whereas with streaming services, a lot of the studios are run by older people and the older generations, and they're like, I don't really understand this, so I'm not going to put my neck out there and risk my job, my career, for something that may not pan out.
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you, like, when Netflix began, more than, 10 years ago?
Yeah.
Like, that was, a huge, thing where it's, you don't have to go to the Red Box anymore. Like, the movies can come to you in your house. And then to see it grow all the way up until now to Disney Plus, really shows, the change for how, social, how, society views, the streaming services overall. Because Disney Plus is going to come out and make millions and millions and millions of dollars, making it worth all the original content. So it's just interesting. I think they both play a vital part into movie entertainment today. So
yeah, and a little tidbit for you guys if you didn't know. Speaking of old-fashioned or archaic, Blockbuster, back when Netflix was starting out, had the chance to buy them.
I did hear this.
Yeah, and own them. They said no, content distribution to people's homes will never work. Blockbuster went out of business about 8 years later.
Yeah, it's because I remember the last one closed down, like, in Alaska just a couple of years ago.
Yeah, really sad.
Was it? I'm not sad.
One of the Blockbuster ones, I remember their rates being super high.
Yeah, it's because they're going out of business.
I miss Blockbuster.
Do you?
Yeah.
It was always an exciting time when my parents would let me go to Blockbuster, pick out a movie, get some candy.
Yeah.
Sure.
Make it an event.
Yeah.
See, like, stuff like that's fine and nice. It just...
Which I think having like red boxes at CVS was like... It's pretty much like the Blockbuster feel.
Yeah.
I liked
cheaper.
Redbox when it came out.
Yeah.
I soon realized that they kept having really crappy movies in there all the time,
Mm-hmm.
and there was nothing really good.
Right.
Well, the nice thing about Redbox, what it seems to continuously do, is always have, like, the latest movie that was just out 2 months ago in theaters, really cycling in. They usually get all the new releases, whereas, like, Netflix can't usually afford them, because Netflix is now trying to become more original in their content.
Yeah.
And then, like, say Disney doesn't want to buy those... like those rights either. So like Redbox isn't like really attached to anyone's studio, so it can just buy everything.
Which is my favorite part, because I still enjoy Redbox. It was just
I do too.
A movie that I can't find on Netflix or any other streaming service.
You can absolutely find it at Redbox.
Yeah, it's like, oh, it's on Redbox. Perfect. It's only $2 a night.
Yeah,
I'll watch it and return it.
Yeah. And then the other thing I want to bring up about, just the last thing about the theater, is like theaters going out of business. Another thing is like the home theater has improved so much. Getting like a 55-inch HD TV is easier now than it's ever been.
Yeah. TVs are getting cheaper.
TVs are getting a lot cheaper.
It's crazy.
The only thing that's still fairly expensive are sound systems. But even then, eventually, when people continue to upgrade sound systems, like the market's gonna, the prices for sound systems today that are new are gonna be much down. Like 5 years from now. Yeah. So even then, like the home theater's just gonna continuously improve.
Yeah, the fact that a soundbar right now costs so much as a TV is pretty ridiculous. But I get why. Is that it's pretty niche market. But I think as soon as the consumer grade sound equipment market expands, then obviously prices will drop. And a lot more people will make home theaters.
Yeah.
I remember when I was little, my older brother, was asking my parents for flat screen TV. They were new.
Yeah.
And really expensive, so it took a while. And then we bought it, and I think my dad still has it to this day. That thing's like 4 inches thick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not even a flat screen.
Yeah, flat was relative. It's flatter than this big ass TV we got now.
Yeah.
But
it's crazy. It's like a dinosaur now. Like thinking about that, because you have like the older TVs with like the round screen, like the bubble. But now that those types of flat screens are so old, those are like dinosaurs now compared to what we have. Like,
it's a good metaphor for Hollywood. You age, and you're phased out. You gotta change, stay with the times.
Yeah, Spielberg.
Yep.
Take that. So,
you want to move on to...
We've got one more thing to talk about.
You sure you want to save it for next week?
But no, we'll finish off with
Okay.
this.
Okay, we'll finish off with this.
Because it goes along with the whole theme of this
episode,
All right.
Your first experiences with art, like what, I guess, is there a point in your life where you were viewing or experiencing or dealing with some sort of art form in school, in your personal life, that really jump-started your idea of wanting to be part of it?
I'll let you hit this one first.
Sure. I can't remember what the first movie I ever saw was, obviously. But I remember when I was a really little kid, right? I watched the Tim Burton Batman on end, non-stop, day after day, because I'm like, oh my god. First of all, because I'm a huge Batman fan, but also, this movie's just so good conceptually, and just everything I'm seeing right now is so good. And every time my mom would take me to the video store, I would pick out the same movie every time. It'd be the Val Kilmer Batman movie. Obviously, I was a kid, so I didn't know it was bad. Yeah, I was like, oh, it's Batman. But definitely just seeing my favorite superhero just on the big screen. It's like all the memories I have with going with my mom to the video store and just her sitting with me just watching, dumb Batman movies she probably wouldn't otherwise. This helps me grow an appreciation for storytelling, just how it brings people together. Because obviously I branched out and saw other things as I grew up. And I'm like, wow, this is a really cool uniting factor in people's lives. And I would definitely want to be a part of this.
That's funny. I've only seen Val Kilmer Batman once.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not great.
Nope.
I saw it by the time I knew it wasn't good.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, I didn't get to see it in my childhood. I would say, for me, the first time I was truly fascinated by any sort of film media was when I was like 10, and my dad showed me the Blair Witch Project for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
And it was crazy because he told me like it was real and everything. And he said like, oh yeah, no, this is an actual documentary. This is a found footage. That just means that he went out there and he had to get this film. And I was like, what? No way. He says, yeah, just watch it. It's one of the scariest movies ever. I was like, all right. I was only 10. So I watched the movie. And like that movie definitely leaves a lot to your imagination at that point in time because they never show you the witch.
It's made for like $10.
I know. It's really good. And
right down, the dude just like standing in the corner moving around.
Yeah, but it's just like, it's crazy because that movie petrified me, and I was like crying and bawling in my dad's room for like a month because like he was like, no, Mike, it's fake, I was just kidding, but the damage was done, man.
I think your mom was not happy.
No, my mom was like pissed because she was a night nurse, so she would like come home and just want to go to bed, and I'd just be like sleeping in her spot, and she'd be like, what the hell? She's like, Jay, why the hell did you show him this movie? But, but ever since then, that's when I got fascinated with horror movies because after I watched that, despite being so scared, all I wanted to do was watch more horror movies.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's what kind of like sparked my initial inspiration for film.
Mm-hmm.
And then from there on out, it wasn't until I would say doing improv with you did I really say like, okay, I can actually write and do stuff because it was my first exposure to other people that wanted to do these kinds of things.
Yeah.
And now 2 years later, here I am.
Here we are.
Yeah.
There's nothing cooler than, because I like horror movies.
Yeah.
I've always watched them with my sister. My sister was really into them.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing cooler than like the long takes that they do.
Yeah.
And I'm watching. Have you guys seen Haunting of Hill House?
I have not yet.
No, I hear good things though.
Yeah,
I think that's the one people like.
I'm watching it right now. It's so good, and the camera work.
Yeah.
So beautiful.
Really?
And I love when they like constantly are like rotating and doing all kinds of like interesting like I don't know. It's cool.
Yeah.
Horror movies are fun.
I would say the next horror movie that I saw that really like solidified that I want to make something scary or at least intense in that thrillerish way. The two movies I would say it was Seven. David Fincher. When I finally saw that, which I saw in a really bad way by the way, because I saw it. I put like a really old DVD into like one of the newer Blu-ray players on like my dad's 65-inch TV. So it would only encompass like the middle part of the TV.
Right.
And there was about like 10 inches of black going up, down, and sides.
Sure.
And I saw it that way, and it was really good. It was actually kind of like weird watching it that way. I thought it actually enhanced the viewing experience. And then next is The Witch. A24 movie that came out just in 2016. Like that one also showed me that like you can also be like nuanced with how you approach your filmmaking. It's because I thought that movie was quite original in how they did it. How it was more like a family drama than it was like a horror movie. And I just liked like the camera work, and it's really beautiful.
Yeah.
And how it's not like your atypical horror movie.
Yeah, it felt like a period piece with supernatural elements.
Yeah.
Let's how about you? I think you said you enjoyed watching horror movies with your sister. How did you get into entertainment and art? I guess you can close this out.
Well, I'm not well versed in film culture like you guys are. I like to focus on music. I think music's my thing. I remember as a kid, we all had MP3 players. I would listen to my MP3 player like every day,
Yeah.
walking around my neighborhood or in my room or whatever. My brother was the one who like bought all of our iTunes music and downloaded it for us. So shout out to my brother for that.
Shout out, big bro.
And I don't know, I was just really into music, you know, like Kanye and Justin Timberlake and all that. I think there was a long period in my life where I stopped paying attention. And then probably like 3 years ago, there's a certain person who I'm not going to name, but brought me back, and she played like all of the old, like everything I listened to when I was a kid and everything. I'm like, holy crap, I remember all this. And then I caught up with all my favorite artists and stuff, and kind of started thinking about it again.
Found your way again?
Yeah, and then here I am. I met you guys. You guys want to get into film and everything like that, and I just want to help out as much as I can.
Well, I'll tell you this much. We do kind of want to grow into, just for the viewers, not for you, but you know this. We do want to grow into film and music, not just film.
Film, TV, music, online content, all that.
It's the whole production company. That's the goal.
We want to take over the world.
And a little fun fact, I loved my little MP3 player back when I was a kid, and the first song I downloaded and I memorized all the words to the song is "Boom Boom Pow" by the Black Eyed Peas.
Yes, Black Eyed Peas.
Oh, you guys just brought back. Oh, my mom. She brought me MP3 player. It's like a cheap little thing because I was a kid, whatever.
Yeah, my thing was like cheap as hell.
Yeah, listen to music. I'd use it constantly. It would just break. I'm like, oh, this sucks. Eventually, she got me. She spent her Christmas bonus.
Oh no.
On an iPod Nano.
Oh my god.
And I tried to use it, and I tried to get it to sync to iTunes. I couldn't figure it out after just one try.
Yeah.
And I just kind of left it in the thing. She's like, why'd you use your iPod? Why'd you use your iPod? Why don't you use your iPod? And like, oh man, I feel so bad now. You spent an entire bonus, and I just left it sitting there like a rock.
Oh no.
I always think about that because as a kid, you don't realize what your parents or whoever,
right,
they, like thinking about it now, I'm like, my parents spent like all of their money on trying to buy us stuff that we wanted
and just keep us alive.
We take it for granted, keep us alive and all that.
Well, here's another just little story is like on my 6th birthday, like we would go to Target like every once in a while to get like groceries and whatnot, but they also had the toy section in Target.
Yeah.
There's this like Power Ranger set where like you get the gloves, you get like the mask, and you get like this whole little setup and everything, and like I would just look at it every single time we went in there and be like, wow, I really want that. Wow, I really want that. And I did it for like a whole 2 months because it was just sitting there. And well, by the time my birthday came around, my dad had gotten me like this spaceship Lego set, not like a kid's spaceship Lego set, like a actual like Apollo ship that you build. And I'm like 6. And I just started crying because I was like, I wanted the Power Rangers. And I feel guilty about that today because I was like, wow, that's very like selfish of me to think. Like I couldn't have been just grateful with whatever gift they got me. But like then again, I was like laying hints for like 2 months that I really wanted it.
It's kind of on you, kind of on them.
Yeah, I feel bad for crying about like I was bawling my eyes out. I was so upset that I didn't get it. As soon as I saw the box was literally like this like super small.
Yeah.
Like, 10 inches by like 4 inches. I was like, that's not the Power Rangers.
It's like, gee, Dad, I really hope you packed it in real tight.
Stay humble, folks.
Stay humble. Stay humble. Yeah.
Appreciate what you have.
Appreciate your parents.
Yeah, appreciate
Thanks, Mom and Dad.
what you got. Appreciate the people in your life. Aim higher, but also stay humble.
Yeah.
And with that, I think we're gonna wrap this up.
Thank you guys for listening. We'll catch you on the next one.
Yeah.
I'm Felix.
Wait, real quick, what's your favorite movie studio?
My favorite movie studio?
Yeah.
Favorite movie studio right now is A24.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with A24.
Yeah.
True. All right. Hey, fact of the day, anybody?
Sure.
Psycho, first U.S. film to feature a flushing toilet.
Neat. So, folks,
But yeah, think on that.
we did kind of tell Lance to do the fact first and the quote at the end, so you have something to leave you with. But it's alright. It's a growing pain.
No. I like this because
It's
now
a
they have to
growing
think about a toilet flushing
Yeah.
instead of the environment thing.
Sit
Frank
down
Costello
on your
said.
flushing toilets and stay humble, folks.
All right, and please subscribe and like and follow the rest of our content and check it out, please.
Or, don't.
Well, yeah. Or pretend to. Like, click on it and then just don't watch it.
Yeah.
Just have it playing
Just
in
let
the
it there.
background.
Let the view count just rack up.
Yeah. Just, anything to help out.
Alright, guys. I'm Felix.
I'm Michael.
Hey, it's Lance.
Lancey boy. Thanks for
boy.
listening. We'll catch you next time.
See you.
This is Jerry's conversation.